Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a Java program to write data into the text files. Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. There are multiple ways for writing the data or text into the text files in Java programs. One way is by using this file writer class. The second way is by using the buffer writer class. The third way is by using the print writer class. And the final way is by using the file output stream. Any of these classes you can use in the Java programs to write the data into the text files. I'm going to practically demonstrate all these ways of writing the data into the text files using file writer, buffer writer, print writer, and also the file output stream in this session. So for that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just create a new class here. I'll just name this class as file writer demo. Just name this class as file writer demo. With main method, I'll create. Inside this main method, I'm going to write the code for writing the text into the text files using any of these classes that I showed you. One by one, I'll show you. I'll just increase the size so that you can see it clearly. Yeah. Now, guys, first thing is, first we need to represent a file in Java before writing any text into the text files. We have to first create the file. Okay. To create or represent a file. Okay. To create a file, first we have to represent the file. I'll say file1 is equal to new file of, like this, we need to create an object for the file class in Java to represent a file. This will only represent the file, it will not create a file. Here, I need to give the name of the file. Okay, I'll import this file class from, I'll just hover the mouse on this file and import it from java.io package. And here in the constructor of the file class, I'm going to create give the name of the file that I want to represent. So here at this moment, abc.txt is there, moduli.txt is there, xyz.txt is there. I would like to give some other name. Let's say, I don't see anywhere like arun.txt. Arun.txt file is not available here, you see. So here I'm just representing the file, guys. This is only for representing the file. Okay, representing the file, but it not create. How to create the file? We have to see, if I have to create a file, first I have to see whether the file exists or not. If the file doesn't exist, I would like to create file1 dot. There's a method known as exist method. Okay, the predefined method of the file class, that is exist method, using which we'll check whether this arun.txt file is available under this project or not. You see, under the project, nowhere arun.txt file is available. Hence, I would like to create the file. If this particular exists will return true, that means file is already there. I'll put a not operator here. That means if the file doesn't exist, this means the file doesn't exist. In that case, create the file. File1 dot create new file, I have to say. Okay, I'll just create the file like this, guys. Here you see, it's asking me to handle the checked exception. It's, in real time, we have to surround with try catch block, guys. Okay, if in case, create new file gives an exception, okay, it will be handled here. I'll remove the comment here. Fine. So this code is for creating the file, guys. Okay, creating the file. For creating the file, we have to use this one, creating the file. Okay. If file doesn't exist, then create the file. If file already exists, it will not create the file. Okay. So first it will represent the file. That represented file exists in the project or not. No, it's not there in the project, guys. Nowhere it is there in the project. Hence, it will create the file when you run the program. Once the file is created, I want to write some text into the file, guys. Okay. I want to write some text into the file. How to write the text into the file? I told you, right, there are multiple ways of writing the text into the file, either using the file writer class, buffer writer, print writer, or file output stream. I'll go with the first one, that is file writer. I'll create an object for the file writer class. File writer, fw is equal to new file writer. Like this, I'll create an object for the file writer class and import this file writer. You can say Control Shift O also to automatically import. In the file writer, over the mouse, here it's asking you to represent the file, okay, to provide the file that you want to write into. I'll just provide this file1 object reference of the file class, which is representing this arun.txt file. Over the mouse, and here for now ignore the exception, guys. Later we'll, here also try to ignore the exception. Okay, here also try to ignore the exception, guys. Okay, so don't try to handle the exception because the code will look bit complex. Okay, code will look bit complex, so don't handle the exception. Try to ignore the exception and shut the mouth of the compiler for a while. Okay, here writing the writing the text into the file using file writer class. Okay, file writer class and its methods. So here I need to create an object for the file writer class, and using this object reference, okay, using this object reference, have to write. Here you see write string text is there. Okay, I'll provide some text. My name is Arun Moturi. Okay, and here I'll write /n I love Java programming. Like these two statements I have written. Okay, like the two statements I have written, I have to write /n. This is an escape sequence. After writing this particular text in the file, right? Okay, it will go to the new line and write the remaining text, guys. Okay, for now I don't want to do anything. I just want to comment this part. I don't want to write anything into the file. First, I will run this one. I'll just write down system.out.println end of this program, so that we know the program has completed execution. End of this program. End of this program, I'll say here. End of this program. Now run the code and see that. Run the code and see that it will create the file. Earlier, arun.txt file is not available. Once the end of this program comes, right, refresh the project and observe that arun.txt file will be created under the project. Refresh the project. You see arun.txt file got created here. Open the file. You see there is no text inside this file. At this particular situation, when there is no particular text available in the file, I would like to uncomment this one. Control / for commenting and uncommenting, same thing. Control / you have to press together. Okay. So I have uncommented this time. I would like to write this particular text. This text will not be written until you say fw.flush. Okay. Until you say fw.flush, this particular text will not be written into the file, guys. Okay. So now I flushed it also. So if you forget this flush command, means you will not be able to see the text written into the file, guys. Okay. So fine. Then let's run this code and see whether this particular text, my name is Arun Moturi /n, will go to the new line and I love Java programming should be written. End of this program came. Again, I'll refresh the project once and go to this arun.txt file and open and see whether the text is written into the file or not. Yes, my name is Arun Moturi. Because of the /n, it went to here and I love Java programming got written. Now I'll clear this out. And save this. Okay. Now, this is one way of writing the text into the files, guys. Using the file writer class, this is how we can write the text into the files using the write predefined method of the file writer class. Okay, you provide this kind of text, and wherever you want to go to the new line, press mention /n. Now, the second way of writing the text into the file, writing text into the file using buffer writer class. Okay, there's one class like buffer writer. Create an object for the buffer writer. BW is equal to new buffer writer. Like this, create an object for the buffer writer class, guys. Okay, and say Control Shift O, and buffer writer got imported. The constructor cannot be empty here. They are asking us to provide the writer. That means for the buffer writer, again we have to create file writer. FW is equal to new file writer. New file writer, we have to create an object because you have to provide the object reference of the file writer inside the buffer writer. Okay, that's the process. Import this file writer from java.io, and here in the constructor cannot be empty. You have to provide the file. Whatever the file that you have created, right, arun.txt file, which is currently empty, it doesn't have any text. I cleared the text here, you see. If I double click on this, you will not see any text inside this file. You see that it's empty. Okay, that file I'm giving here. And the object reference of the file. Okay, object reference of the file representation I'm giving here, and object reference of the file writer I'm giving the buffer writer constructor. The errors will be gone. After that, bw.write. So write is there. Okay, bw.write method is there. Here we'll do the same thing, guys. My name is Arun Moturi. We'll give my name is Arun Moturi. And if I want to go to the new line, I don't have to mention /n here. I don't have to mention /n because here there is one thing known as new line method. Okay, this new line method is not available in the file writer class. Okay, using the object reference of, we have to only can access the write method, but new line method is not there. Here also write method is there, but extra thing is new line method is there in the buffer writer, which file writer doesn't have the new line method. So here, if you have to go to the new line in the string text itself, you have to say /n, but here it is not required. Buffer writer is more sophisticated than the file writer. Whenever you want to go to the new line, you have to call this new line method, guys, and then write bw dot. Again, remaining statement you write, that is I love Java programming, you write. Okay, you don't have to mention the escape sequences and as an alternative option. Okay, here, because Here, all the things will be taken care by the methods only. That is, new line method is something extra when compared to the file writer. And buffer writer, we have new line method, which will take you to the new line. Then here, bw dot flush you have to say, okay? Without flushing, right, this particular text will not be typed into the text file. So this is the difference between the file writer and buffer writer. Okay, run the code and see what is happening. Right click run as. If end of the program comes, I'll refresh the project and refresh the project once, and go and open the arun.txt file and see whether the text has been written or not. Yes, the text has been written. Now again, I'll clear this particular text. I'll make this particular text file empty because I would like to use another way of writing the text into the files. So I'll just comment this out again. The second way is also completed. Now let's go to third way, that is print writer case. Using print writer, it is even more sophisticated than the buffer writer also. Buffer writer is sophisticated than the file writer, whereas print writer is sophisticated than the buffer writer. Okay. So here I need to create an object for the print writer class. Print writer pw is equal to new print writer. Print writer. Like this, you need to create an object for the print writer. Control Shift O, and it will be imported. Constructor cannot be empty, guys. You have to directly represent the file here. Just go here and give this file, that is arun.txt file. Object reference of the file class, which is referring to this arun.txt file, you have to provide here. That's it. And after that, you simply write down. This is the third way, guys. This is the third way. Writing text into the file using print writer class. Print writer class. Writing the text into the file using print writer class. pw dot write. Do we have the right method? Instead of write method, guys, there is sophisticated methods like print ln. If you want to write and go to the next line, you don't have to write these two statements. bw dot write, bw dot new line, you don't have to write. If you write pw dot print ln, it will write and go to the new line automatically, guys. So you don't have to separately mention the new line method here. Here you have to mention /n. Here you have to separately mention bw dot new line for going to new line. Here you don't have to mention anything. Simply ln means new line. Oppositely, you have to read new line. Okay, it will write this particular text into the file and go to the new line. And after that, if you don't want to go to the new line, just write the text means print, and here write down normal print you have to use. If you have to write and go to the new line, you have to use print ln of the print writer. And if you just want to write and not want to go to the next line, then you have to write just print. It will not go to the new line anymore. Okay, it will not go to the new line anymore. Print will stay in the same line after writing the text into the text file. The important thing is every class you have to flush case. Okay, if you don't flush, this will not happen. So before running the code, I'll open the arun.txt file and observe that I have cleared the text here. As you can see, that is empty. Now run the code and see. Using the print writer, it's even more sophisticated than the buffer writer because I don't have to call the new line method separately. Simply, I can use print ln for writing and going to the new line. So I'll just refresh this project once, And once refreshed, right, I'll open the arun.txt file and see that the text will be written. My name is Arun Motri. I love Java programming is written. Again, I'll clear this because there is one more way. Okay, the final way is there for writing the text into the text files. I'll comment this one out. Okay, out of these three things, print writer is a sophisticated one and easy to use when compared to the rest. But different people will use different stuff based on their requirement. That's okay. And coming to the next one, that is file output stream. File output stream FOS is equal to new file output stream. Like this I have to write. This semicolon here, Control Shift O. File output stream will be imported from file put Control Shift O. Output stream. The constructor cannot be empty, guys. We have to provide the file which is representing this arun.txt file. Just give that file, and after that, FOS dot write method you have to take. But here you have to write in the form of byte format, guys. Okay, this is a difference. Where it will be useful, generally people may use file output stream, but it's useful for it can also, it has a capability of creating an image, guys. Okay, it's not only for writing the text, but also it can write some things that are required for creating an image. So, but people generally, okay, in Selenium automation or Java programming, people generally use it for writing into the text file most probably. How to write into the text file, I'll show you. Before writing into the text file, you have to create a string saying string str is equal to my name is Arun Moturi. Okay, if you want to go to the new line here itself, you have to say /n I love Java programming. Here only you have to write, guys. Everything you have to write here only. Okay, and create the string text and convert this string into the byte format because this write method will intake the text in byte array format. How to convert the string str dot get bytes you have to say. Okay, it will convert to the byte array over the mouse on this get bytes byte array. So this is what the write method is expecting. This kind of different, guys. The way to use file output stream for writing the text into the text files will be completely different. Here write method will be there. Here write and new line method will be there. Here print line and print methods will be there, which is more sophisticated. But coming to the file output stream, here write method is there, but here we should not be directly giving the text, guys. Like in the file writer, we gave the string text directly like this, right? But it will not consume the string text directly, guys. We have to convert the string text into the get bytes and then provide that, okay? Whatever the string text that you want to type into the text file, right? That you convert into the get bytes and then pass it on to the write method, okay? So str.get bytes, it got converted to the byte array, and then the write method will only consider the byte array, guys. And now after writing, guys, again the same thing, guys, fos.flush, you have to say without flushing the text will not be written. This is the last way of writing the text into the text files. First way using the file writer, then better way, next better way is like buffer writer, then next best way is like print writer. These are best of all, guys, okay? But people may use different things, okay, in different programs, so we have to learn everything. There's no other way. And here, just see, guys, what is happening. So before I run the code, guys, before I run the code, if I open this arun.txt file, you see it's kind of blank. I cleared the text here. I'll run the code again and see that after running the code, after the end of this program got printed, I'll open that arun.txt file and show you that, refresh this project and show you that the text will be written into this arun.txt file using the file output stream. You see the text has been written. These are the multiple ways of writing the text into the text files. Okay, these are multiple ways of writing the text into the text files using the file writer class, using the file buffer writer, using the print writer, or using the file output stream also you can write. These are the 4 ways we have in Java for writing the text into the text files. Okay. Okay, just reduce the font so that you guys can take a screenshot of this code. Okay, so hope you are able to see the main method. So guys, you can take the screenshot of this code, uncomment the required things, and run them. And this will create the file. If it's already created, it will not create the file. Otherwise, it will create the file and then write the text into the file. Okay. So hope, guys, you have taken the screenshot for this particular program and into your machine, and you can practice the answer for this question in a better way. Okay. So hope, guys, with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a Java program to demonstrate inserting data into a table using JDBC, which is Java Database Connectivity. Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. In one of the previous interview questions of the same series, I've answered one question like, write a Java program to make a connection to the database using JDBC. Okay, I already covered that. So to understand the answer for this particular question, I recommend you watch the previous interview question. Okay, before this question, there's one more question. Just before that question, another question is there. Okay, so in that question, I've answered how to write the Java program to connect to the database using the JDBC from the Java programs. Okay, that I already covered, guys. So few things I'll not be covering because I already covered there in the as an answer for the previous question. Okay, so just go back to the 2 videos back. Okay, you'll get that question. Now, anyhow, assuming that you guys have watched that particular video containing the answer for how to write the Java program for making a connection to the database using JDBC, assuming that I'm going to answer this question in a practical way for you from scratch anyhow. So here, first we have to start MySQL. So if you remember in the previous question that I have answered, okay, in the previous question of connecting to the database via JDBC from the Java programs, how to start the MySQL already covered, guys. For that, I showed you how to install a software known as XAMPP software. Here, since I have already installed XAMPP software in the previous answer question, right? In answer of the question, right? This XAMPP software is coming. I'll just launch it. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to download and install. You can Google it out and download if you don't have that. And here you will get a lot of modules, guys. And click on the start button for MySQL. Okay, MySQL database management system. Okay, it's a software for managing the databases. That MySQL software you are starting here. It by default will run at 3306 port number, guys. It will run at the 3306 port number. Remember that. Okay. While the database is running, I need to connect to the MySQL database management system from command line, guys. So there's a lot of stuff I can do. That is, in my machine, after I have installed this XAMPP software, And from the XAMPP software, just how I have started MySQL, right? After starting that, you go to the folder location of the XAMPP software where it got installed in your machine. So in my C drive, as you can see, there is XAMPP folder created after installing XAMPP software in my machine. This folder got created, guys. I'll go inside the folder. Inside that, you will see something like this. Under that, we'll see MySQL kind of folder, guys. Where is that folder? Yeah, just I think here is the one. Inside that bin folder, you go to the bin folder of the MySQL. Okay. Here, type CMD, and here, once you open the command prompt here, you need to run the commands to connect to the database, guys. Okay. First, say you have to run a particular command to run the to connect to the database. Okay, to connect to that particular, MySQL database management system, DBMS. For that, you have to run the code like this. This is a MySQL DBMS software. MySQL -u, root is the username, -p. We don't have to specify the password here. It will ask. Okay. Once you press enter, it will ask. Before this statement, you have to set the password for this, guys. Okay. How to set the password for this MySQL DBMS software? Okay. Before doing anything on this MySQL DBMS, where database can be created and you can create the tables on the database and all the stuff. Okay. That I already covered in the previous questions answer, guys. Okay. So if you have not watched that particular answer, I recommend you guys to go and watch the 2 videos back question where I have answered clearly how to set the password for the MySQL. Here I'm not setting the password, rather I'm connecting to the database because already username and password is already set. Just press enter. In the previous video, I have set the password as root. I'm just pressing enter. Now I got connected to the database, guys. Okay, I got connected to the database. Okay, that is MySQL database management system. I connected with this thing. Now I want to see how many databases are there in this MySQL DBMS software. Okay, to do that, show databases command with a semicolon you press. You'll get the list of databases. In the previous answer, right? I created this QFox database. Now here I'm going to create one more database, guys. How to create a database? These are the existing list of databases. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 are there. But I'm going to create a fresh database. Create database and give the name of the database. Let's say DB1. You can give anything. DB1 I am giving. Put a semicolon, press enter. Query okay, 1 row affected. Now again say show databases. Show databases. When you say this time you'll get 7 databases. Okay. Along with the 6, you also got a new database, DB1 database, just now created. In this database, I want to see how many. I want to use this database, guys. Okay, this 7 database, I want to use this DB1 database. For that, we have command known as use. Okay, if you want to perform some operations inside this DB1 database that have created just now, right? You have to use a command known as use DB1. Press enter. You see, now I am at this DB1 location in the DBMS software, that is MySQL DBMS software. I'm at the DB1 database. Okay, in the DB1 database, I would like to see how many tables are there. Show table, just now created, right? No tables will be there. You see, empty set means 0 tables are there. I want to create a table. Create table name, let's say employee table, employees, otherwise employees, whatever you say. And here, I would like to create the table with 3 columns, 3 column names. First one is name of the employee. I'll just say varchar of the size is 50 characters again, comma. Then location I'll give, location again varchar of 50 I'll give. Okay, this string format, right? String format we have to give varchar and we have to specify the size, maximum size. And again, experience also I'll give. Another column I would like to give as experience. Experience is integer type. I'll give integer here. Okay. Integer. I don't want string text here, integer. Okay. integer. That's it, guys. Put a semicolon here and the table will be created. Query okay, 0 rows affected. Now say show tables this time. Should get 1 table like this. Okay. You see, there's 1 table inside the DB1 database that we have just now created in this series, right? We got the employees table. In that employees table, okay. In that employees table, how many table records are there? How many table records are in this? This is just now created. We created the table, right? Only 1 table is there. In the table, how many records are there? Okay. How many records of the employees are there? 0 records will be there. So you can write a command, select star from name of the table, that is employees. If you run this, it will say empty set. That means there are no records in this particular employees table. Okay. There are no records in this employees table, guys. So how to insert the records? I'll show you how to insert 1 record from here command line. Insert into the name of the table, that is employees, values. Okay, values as, for the first one, I'll give the value as Arun. And here I'll give the location as Hyderabad. And here I'll give the experience as 17 years. Let's see. Okay. So like that, I can insert some data into the table. Here, employees table doesn't have any record. This is the first record I'm inserting. Press enter, one row affected. Now say, select star from employees. Earlier that was empty set, right? This time you'll get one record in the tables. Okay. You see, name, location, experience, Arun, Hyderabad, 17. So I have inserted this particular record from where? From this command line. Okay. But I want to insert this another record into the same table, employees table. Here only one record is there. I would like to insert another record from the Java program. For that, what I have to do, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll write Java program, and with the help of JDBC and with the help of JDBC, Java database connectivity, I'm going to connect to the database from the Java program. I'm going to insert or run the query to insert the data into the database. Second record I would like to insert from the Java program. Okay. That is what is the answer for the question, guys. Okay. Whatever I explained is just a basic knowledge, but whatever I'm trying to show you by writing the code, right, that is the answer for this question. Okay. So inserting data demo. Okay. Inserting data to DB demo, DB table demo, something like that. Okay. I'll create a main method, and in this main method, inside this main method, I'm going to inside this main method, I'll just increase the font here. And here, what I want to do first is, this is a step-by-step process, guys. It's a step-by-step process of what to do and all. I'll tell you what you have to do here. Just give it some time. So let it, complete this. User operations. Yeah, done. Now here, I'm going to do something, guys. Just give me a second. First, to make a connection to the database, you see what we have to do in the Java programs. I have already demonstrated here, guys. Okay, what you have to do and all those stuff. First thing is that you have to go to the pom.xml file of this particular project. You just go to this one. I already covered in the answer of the previous question, but I'm showing you again. Go to the pom.xml file before writing any code here. Go to the pom.xml file of this project. Okay, Maven Java project. And here, add the dependency tags. If you don't have this dependency tags, kindly add it, okay? If you don't know how to add this dependency tags and from where you want to get the dependency tags, go and watch my previous video on this connecting to the database via JDBC from the Java programs, okay? So here, MySQL connector, go to MVN repository and search for MySQL, JDBC, like that you search, you will get this kind of stuff. Copy the latest version and then dependency tags, you add it and save this. The libraries of this particular thing will be added here, guys. Okay, the library of this particular thing will be added here. Fine. Once the libraries are added, once the library of this got added here under the Maven dependencies, you see MySQL connector. Under that, somewhere here, you see, we'll have this com.mysql cj.jdbc kind of stuff will be there. Okay, we have to go here. Under that, we have a driver class. Okay, this step-by-step process, guys. I'll tell you what you have to do. First, you write down string. Okay. String, you have to give DB path. How to give the DB path? To give the DB path, give the double quote. Give the double quote, guys. And here mention JDBC MySQL /. And here, where this MySQL server is running, Java database connectivity, MySQL, where this MySQL is running in my machine only. Okay, if it is running in a different machine, I have to give the IP address of that particular machine where MySQL DBMS software is running. But since the MySQL is running in my machine, instead of giving the IP address of that particular MySQL thing of the machine where MySQL is running, you can simply say localhost. Localhost means instead of giving the IP address of your machine, you can simply provide localhost, which is nothing but the IP address of your machine. Where is this MySQL running? In my machine, MySQL is running at 3306 port number. Give the 3306 port number and say /. And followed by that, you have to give the name of the database, guys. Okay, you have to give the name of the database. What is the name of the database? Here, what is the database that I have just now created, under which I created a table? The database name is DB1. Okay, give the name of the database here, DB1. Like that, that's it. Okay, DB path you give. And here, next thing is username. The username that you need for connecting to this MySQL DBMS software, that is root. Password. What is the password? The password that is required for connecting to this MySQL database also is root. Okay. Give the same thing, guys. Okay. Now, after this, what we have to do is first we have to create an instance. I mean, you have to register the driver, guys. Okay. JDBC driver we have to register. For that, where is the driver class available here? Driver is available here. How to register this driver? How to register the driver? For that, we have to follow these steps, guys. Class dot per name of, okay, you have to write this, okay, in order to register the JDBC driver, class dot, you have to create an instance for that, okay. So using this for name method, we can do that for name, and here in the for name, you give in double quotes, you give this path, guys, okay, you give this particular path, that is com.mysql.cj.jdbc. Under that driver class you have to provide, okay. So here provide com.mysql.cj.jdbc. Like that, you have to give the thing. You see, you're already getting some kind of, exception related stuff you're getting. I'll just ignore the exception for a while. Okay. At the end, I have to put a try catch block. There's no other way. For now, I'll ignore the exception for a while by shutting the mouth of the compiler. But I have few more things to write. After that, I'll do the things at a go. Okay. After this, after registering the driver, here, okay, JDBC driver here, after registering the JDBC, under that, you have to give the driver class also. Where is the driver? Don't forget to give driver here, dot driver. Driver is a predefined class of the JDBC here. This is a JDBC driver. You have to restart the driver. After you restart the driver, now you can connect to the database. How to connect to the database? In order to connect to the database, we have something known as driver manager. Okay, driver manager dot. Okay, so here there is a command known as get connection command, where you have to provide the DB path, the URL, DB path URL, or whatever you can say, username and password of the all the things, three things you have to give. Here, provide this DB path here, provide the username here as root, okay, and here password. Okay, three things we have provided here. Again, we are getting kind of surround with try-catch block. I ignore it. SQL exception is coming, that's fine. Okay, at the end, I'll implement that. Okay, so once the code looks easy, right, at the end, I'll implement all the try-catch blocks. For now, I'm just ignoring them. So this will make a connection, guys. This will make a connection and give you the object of the connection. Okay, connection is equal to, like this, I have to write. Save this, hover the mouse on this and say create, hover the mouse on this connection. It's not coming, hover the mouse on this. Yeah, sometimes it will not come, don't worry. Just have to give it another try, that's it. Or say Control-Shift-O, guys, okay? Automatically it will be imported. Connection from java.sql, it has come, okay? Now, using this connection, what I have to do? Using this connection, what I have to do? I made a connection, guys, okay? This is nothing but connected to database. Connected to MySQL DBMS. Okay, we connected to the MySQL DBMS software. Okay. In this, we have in the MySQL DBMS, we created a database known as DB1, and in the DB1, we created a table known as employees table. In that table, we have to insert the data. That's the program all about. Okay. So let's come here, and connection is already set. Now, connection dot create statement. Okay, there is one more problem here, guys. Okay. Database we connected already. It's like connected to MySQL DBMS database, that is DB1. Okay, because we have given the path till DB1, right? DB1 is one of the database inside this MySQL or DBMS software. So this is what we are doing, the connection to the DB1 database itself. Okay, once we have connected to the database, guys, we have to run a query on a particular table that is there inside the database. What is the query I have to run? What is the SQL query I have to run? SQL query is equal to in the double quotes, I'll insert the query, guys. What is the query here? What is the query I have run here to insert the data? Insert into employees values, like that I have written, right? The same query I'll write. Insert into employees table. Okay, employees table with values mentioned as, like this you provide, guys. Okay. So here put a semicolon here, no problem. And here write down the values. What is the value? Let's say Varun is a value. Arun record I already inserted, guys. I will go with the Varun. Here only one record is there now. From the Java programs, I have to run this program. Okay, Varun, and give the location as Bangalore. Bangalore, Bangalore, and the experience has 8 years of experience. Okay, 8 years of experience you give. For this strings, right, you have to give single quote, but integers you can give it directly number, guys. Okay, this is SQL query that I want to run. But how to run the query? To run the query, guys, we have to create a statement, guys. We have to create a statement. I'll show you how to create a statement. Connection dot using this object reference, using this connection object reference. Already you have connection, right? Connection dot. There's something like create statement or something. Create statement. Create the statement, guys. Create statement and hold the mouse on this. So in the create statement, just see here what I'm doing. Connection dot create statement. It will return you the statement, guys. It will return you the statement. Hover the mouse and say it will return the statement. Simply say statement is equal to hover the mouse and say create local variable. Statement will be created. Now using this object reference statement dot. Okay, you have to run the script, run the query. Okay, execute SQL query, guys. Okay, execute SQL query. That is SQL query, whatever you created for insertion, right? That you paste it here in the execute query. And here, if it is correctly inserted, guys, it will return a Boolean value. So here, Boolean B is equal to, okay, Boolean B is equal to if B. If it is true means, that means record got inserted, system.out.println, record got inserted. Okay, we have tried. Else we have tried. Record didn't get inserted. Record didn't get inserted. Okay, like that we have tried the code, guys. Okay, so like this we have to run this code and see whether this is working fine or not. I am not implementing any try catch blocks right now, but I'll run this code and see whether the record is getting inserted to see whether So this is the code I have written, guys. This is the code I have written. You can take a screenshot if you want. Okay, you can take the screenshot of this main method. First, I created an instance for restart the driver here, JDBC driver for that class dot for name of you have to do. After that, I have to make a connection to the database, DB1 database. For that, I have given the path here, database path, and username password for connecting to the database. Everything I have given. Okay, via the DBMS, MySQL DBMS software, we have connected to the database by giving the username, password, and this entire DB path, JDBC colon MySQL colon localhost 3306, where MySQL RDBMS software is running. In the DB1 is a database we have directly connected. After that SQL query, we have created the query also that we have to run. To run this query, to insert the data, this new record into the DB1 database. Okay, here using the object reference of this connection, I create statement. Using the statement, I have to run the query that I created here. And if the query is really run on the database of that particular MySQL DBMS software, right? In that case, it will return true and say record got inserted. Otherwise, it will say record didn't get inserted. Okay, this is a program I have written. So very simple program. Run this code. Right click, run as Java application. Let's see what is the output that we'll get. The record is inserted. We'll say record get inserted. Record didn't get inserted. There is a problem, guys. Okay, there's a problem. Record didn't get inserted. What is the problem? We have to see. Okay, so I didn't. Okay. Statement execute query and I'm getting record didn't get inserted instead of record getting inserted. Execute. Okay, that's the thing we have to do actually. Should be done. Statement dot execute query. Okay. Row inserted, a new record has been inserted, has to come, but it's saying not coming. But I'll do one thing. So let's start from employees. You see, it got inserted, guys. Why it's coming as Varun got inserted here, but why it's coming as record didn't get inserted is something I don't know. Somewhere some problem is happening. It got executed. The execute statement is giving a Boolean value. Okay, execute statement is giving a Boolean value. Okay, but it got inserted. You see, I didn't insert here, it got inserted, but here it is saying that it didn't get inserted. So let me run this with different data here. Tarun, I'll say. Tarun, Delhi, and give the experience as 3 years of experience. And create statement and, we'll use a try catch blocks this time. I was not using try catch blocks, right? I'll try to use a try catch blocks this time. You see, all the statements are, giving kind of exception here, you see. So it's better you put all these things inside the try block. Okay, put everything inside the try block, guys. Okay, then write catch block, catch exception, EU, right? Or SQL exception or whatever you want to give the highest level, you can give that. That's okay. Then press enter, and here I'll write down record didn't get inserted, I'll write if that is a so. Okay. So run the query, right click run as Java application. With different details Tarun Delhi 3. This time what we'll get, let's see. Record didn't get inserted is coming somehow. Okay. But here if I go and see that, it will be inserted. Okay. That's the problem. So Tarun Delhi 3 is coming guys, but record didn't get inserted is coming. So why it's coming as a Boolean value is coming as, we don't know. SQL query, but it's getting inserted, but it's coming as false. Okay. But the record is getting inserted. But the record is getting inserted, but it's giving a wrong answer. So here I'll write down system.out.println. B, I'll print it out. This time I'll give another thing. Kishore, Mumbai, 13 years. Run this code. I'll try to print the B also this time to see true or false. False is coming. That's the reason, guys. Okay. Why the false is coming? Why the execute script command is giving false here when you run the query here? Should return true, right? If there is inserted, it should return true. So, but it is returning false. That's statement.execute. If row inserted, it should come as true actually. Okay. So everything is going well. If I run the query here, you see 4 records are there. 4 records are there, right? Wait, next. Okay. So record is getting inserted, but we are getting a wrong in, thing kind of thing here. Why we are getting false, we don't know, but I'll just find it out. We wrote the code very well. There's no problem in that, but here is returning false, even though the record got inserted successfully. Let's see what kind of answer we'll get. This means executes returns true for select statements and false for everything, including delete, insert. It will return false. If the record is getting inserted, it will return false, it seems. Okay. To execute SQL, you can invoke the method execute query. Return set of which models the return table. You can access the table with a okay. Statement is returning false even though. Okay. Changes are made. Let's find it out. What is the answer? Execute call if the result has a result set object. If returns false, otherwise, if I wanted to return nothing or an update counter. Okay, for just about all intents of this means execute returns true for select statements and false for everything else, including delete insert statements. Most of all, it means don't even call that method. It's utterly useless. Okay, so we don't have to use that, guys. Okay, we don't have to write this thing and say that okay, we don't have to use this boolean b and all. Simply, this enough. And if it go to the catch block, then only you say record didn't get inserted. Otherwise, simply write on system.out.println record got inserted. You say okay. This is a better way to update the code. Record got inserted. You can say that okay. Record got inserted. Now save this and run the code. Right click run as Java application. Okay, already I inserted the record, guys. Again, duplicate record will be inserted. That's okay. Just run this code. You see, 2 times Kishore got inserted. I didn't update the value, so that's okay. Okay, Praveen. Okay, Praveen, Calcutta, and 15 years of experience, let's say, and run this code. Record got inserted will come. It will not. If you go to the catch block only and say record didn't get inserted, otherwise you will say record got inserted. Okay, got inserted, and here, yeah, Praveen Calcutta 15 also got inserted. That proves that actually we don't have to. And again, I'll write the finally block, guys. Finally block I have to write. Why? Because I need to release this connection and release this statement, guys. There are 2 things. Okay, first I have to release a statement, then I have to release a connection. So if statement dot equals is statement is not equal to null. Statement is not equal to null. So here I cannot get the statement outside, so I have to declare it outside the try catch block then only. Sorry, statement is equal to statement is equal to 1 minute. Statement is equal to, I'll say null. Okay. I'll say statement is equal to null, and here I don't have to declare it. I'll also make this connection also outside, so that I need that outside. Then connection is equal to, here connection also I'll say null first initially. Null. Okay. Then here I don't have to declare here. Okay. Because these things that are declared inside try block will be local to the try block. So I have to make them global outside the try block. And here I can access now. If statement is not equal to null, then statement dot close you have to write. Okay. Statement dot close. And again, one more thing here, you see again try exception. Okay. Surround with try catch block, you can say. You can write like this. Okay. SQL exception is possible. And one more thing also, if this connection is not equal to null, this is a complete program you have to write, guys. Okay. Whenever you get this kind of questions in the interviews, right, you have to show your best practices. Okay. You don't have to just give them the answer. Okay. Also show the best practices, how to use try catch blocks, how to close the objects, how to release the connections after the task is done. Okay. Connection dot close. Here also you'll get a surround this with try catch block, SQL exception kind of stuff. Okay. Done. Like this, we have to write the entire code, guys. Run this code with the different data. Praveen, I'll say Madhav. Okay. Madhav. Which place? Rajasthan. Okay. Having 10 years of experience, let's say. Run this query. Okay. No matter what, any exception comes also, this code will be able to handle it. No need to worry much. Yeah. Record got inserted. You see, Madhav Rajasthan 10 got inserted. Okay. So this is how we can insert the data into the database, one of the database in one of the database management system like MySQL, etc. This is the code we have to write. So hope guys you got the answer for this question with a practical demonstration. So you don't have to write this directly run this. You don't have to write whether if row inserted is not of use. Okay. That is a thing that I have removed here. That is not required. Remaining all are close the statements. In the finally block, close the statements. Okay. Write finally block to close the statements. Now, it will be very difficult for you to take the screenshot. Now, already you have taken the screenshot of the main method, right? I'll just reduce the size a bit and see if we can go to the lowest level possible. Now you can take the screenshot, guys. The entire code, you can take a screenshot now. You can zoom it out and see. You can take a screenshot, zoom out your screenshot and, So hope, guys, you have taken the screenshot and with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a Java program to convert string literal to an integer literal. Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. In order to convert a string literal to an integer literal in Java program, we have to use a predefined class known as integer class. And using one of its static predefined methods, we can convert a convertible string literal to an integer literal. What do I mean by a convertible string literal? Means inside the double quotes, if you have some text, that kind of string literals cannot be converted to integer literal. Okay, only the string literals which have some numbers in between the double quotes. Okay, in double quotes are there, some numbers are there surrounded by double quotes. Okay, numbers surrounded by double quotes are there. Such kind of string literals can be converted to integer, but not the text related string literals cannot be converted. Anyhow, I'll explain in practical way in this session. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE, and here in one of the package, I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as, say, class H. With main method, I'll create. Now, inside the main method, I'll create a string literal because I need to convert as part of this program, as part of this question, interview question, we have to write a program to convert a string literal to integer literal, right? First, I'll create a string literal. And here, if I give Arun kind of text here, can this string literal text, which is of text type, can be converted to numerical type or integer type? Not possible, guys. Okay, no matter what you do, it's not possible. Integer dot, you have to use a wrapper class or wrapper predefined class known as integer wrapper class. And then say, here you have a method, guys, parse int. Okay, this is a method, parse int method. You have to use integer dot parse int of str. And this will return you an integer value, but this is not going to happen, guys. This is not going to happen. if I say number is equal to, if I try to print it out, you are going to get a runtime exception. Okay. Compiler will not give you any error, but when you run this program, you are going to get an error, runtime error or exception in the output. Why? Because the string literal cannot be converted to, okay, if this text, okay, the string text kind of literal is there means here if number was there in place of Arun, then would have been converted from the string literal type to the numerical type. But now what is happening? You will get a runtime error or exception in this program. When you run this code in the output, you will get an exception. Just wait for a while. You see, number format exception cannot convert the string literal, which is of text type, to the number type. Okay. So what if I give something like 99 here? In that case, it is possible, guys. Okay. Here, in this case, the string literal is surrounding some number. Okay. These double quotes are surrounding this particular number, which can be converted to a number. And I can also perform some operations. Okay. Number plus 1, if I say, I can perform the operation. You see, run this code and see. 100 will be printed. Okay. 99 string literal will be converted to a number and 99 plus 1, 100 got printed. This proves that the string literal got converted to the number. Okay. Is there any other way to convert a string literal to a number? So first, okay, I'll do one more thing here. Before converting that string literal to a number, I would like to say the same thing. str plus 1 I say. Okay, here 99 plus 1. What should be the output here? This string literal. String literal here plus will act like a concatenation operator and 991 will be printed. Here 100 will be printed because it's a proper number. But here this str looks like a number but it's a string literal number. So concatenation will happen. 1 will be appended to 99. So 991 will be printed, guys. Okay. In the second answer, number plus 1, 100 will be printed. You see, first 991, then 100. Okay. That's how it works. And is there any other way of, converting this string literal to a integer? Yes, there's another way. That is integer dot value of string. Okay. Either you can use %, or you can use value of, okay, the same string, whatever the string you gave here also same thing. But the return type of the %, was into primitive data type, but the return type of value of is integer wrapper class type. Okay. Integer number 2. Okay. Here I'll say system.out.println number 2. Just perform some operation here to see whether it got really converted to a number or not. There are two ways of converting a string literal, which can be convertible into integer number if that particular string literal has some number surrounded by double quotes. Such kind of string literals can be converted to integer primitive data type numbers or integer wrapper class type of numbers. If you want to convert primitive data type, %, you have to use integer dot % method you have to use. If you have to convert it into the wrapper class type, then value of method we have to use. Whatever it may be. Here I'm going to perform some plus 5. Okay, 99 plus 5 will be 99 will be converted into integer numerical integer wrapper class type of object. 99 plus 5 will become how much, guys? 104 should be printed here. Okay, 100, 104. This one 100, this one 104. You see 104 got printed. So these are the two ways, guys. Integer dot % is one way. I'll write down here. What are the two ways of converting? What are the two ways of converting the string literal, which can be convertible into an integer number? There are two ways. Okay. Here the condition is that only the string literals which have numbers, okay, surrounded by double quotes can be converted to integer literals. Okay, integer literals. It can be %, primitive data type literal, value of integer wrapper class type literal. Okay, fine. So hope, guys, with practical demonstration, I've explained this answer for you. You can take a screenshot of this question if you want. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.